mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato ma Sadgamaya. Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato ma Sadgamaya. Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato ma Sadgamaya. Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti Shanti Shanti. वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव शुभकार्येषु सर्वदा। श्रीवक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव शुभकार्येषु सर्वदा। श्रीवक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं। शुभकार्येषु सर्वदा। ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकाराय
good. Oh, namaste. Welcome everyone back to Satsang, the second part of Satsang, and where I take a little opportunity to read some of the letters that come, and welcome also to those who are joining us via broadcasting. I'm a little bit feeling that the sound is a little... Okay, let's see here. Someone left a note there. It says, Namaste Mooji, what is the essence of nostalgia? I think you mean nostalgia. And if the past is an illusion, I would say present also is illusion. I can explain that if you want, but not that it by itself is illusion, but it's being perceived from a very unstable perspective in consciousness. Therefore, what is being perceived and the way it is being perceived is not accurate, it's not true. It's very personal. This is what is meant. That each person, each human being, if you like, perceives uniquely. In the same way that you go to bed, you have a dream, but you cannot share that dream as a direct experience with anybody. Even your beloved sleeping right next to you, you can't sort of plug in and experience the same dream and have the same response, the same feelings. We know this or not. Therefore, the waking state is also a very, very subjectively experienced state. If you reflect on it a little bit, it will be clear for you. What does this mean? It means then that each one is perceiving the world uniquely. Just like I gave example, if there's a football match of whatever caliber, say a World Cup match is going on, the match is only what it is, whatever it is just what it is. But if 100 commentators are commenting about the match, you'll have 100 different reports, all slightly. In one point, the commentator might be very excited about a certain move is going on. Another one is saying that it's hardly worth even mentioning. So who is reporting the match in the most accurate way? Every one of them is subjective. Maybe if you support a particular team, even though they're playing badly, you may give a better impression of their performance. So who can say, this one gives the most accurate, interpretation or reporting of something? In the same way, in daily life, each one is experiencing in a very unique way, and so many different factors, most of which are untraceable, contribute to the unique perception of any moment. Even the moving of the planets or the rising of the moon. What sort of time and cycle you are in the month and things like this. Your moods, all of this is contributing to the unique way in which we perceive. So who can say that they're perceiving reality really accurately? So it's just a series of projections, interpretations, assumptions that we take to be real. And this is why it is good to live in a human society, because, if you will be constantly reminded that your view is your view. That much is healthy. If you are living at home with your pets, they will not disagree with you. Isn't it? They all think you are great. One man was praying, he says, Lord, help me to become the person my dog thinks I am. Fair enough, because they are more pure in mind than most human beings. Okay, what is the essence of nostalgia? If the past is an illusion, why the nostalgia is so innocent and feels so good? What does it say? Ricard Najib, you wrote this? So why is the essence of nostalgia? What is the essence of nostalgia? If the past is an illusion, why the nostalgia is so innocent and feels so good? But you might experience a certain moment that you are now being reminded of as a nostalgic experience for you. There may have been 5 or 6 people there. And maybe for you it is a beautiful nostalgic moment, but maybe for someone there it was a night they would want to forget. Maybe they're thinking, oh my God. You come and you say, oh, that last weekend, wow, it was amazing. And they go, oh, okay. It may not be something for them that they call nostalgia. You cannot say that moment, if it is nostalgic and it's so good, it means that it must be good for everybody. That everyone will have a nostalgic, recollection of that moment. But it's not necessarily true. It is maybe for you, it feels like that. If the past is an illusion, why the nostalgia is so innocent? When you have bad memories, do you call it nostalgia? No. It's very selective, isn't it? A bad moment for you may have been a great moment for someone else, and a great moment for you may be a bad moment for someone else. We cannot say there is not one thing in the world that has one single inherent meaning that whatever it means the same for everybody. The object is just an object. It doesn't have any meaning. Your mind give it the meaning. Your mind also sentimentalize it. You see? Isn't it? Like I gave example, somebody has one Chinese cup, was given by the father, Chinese cup, and it's like 60 years old. And then one day they're passing one antique shop and they see like 7 of them look identical to the father's one. Oh my God, where they come from? You go inside the shop, you ask, where these come from? These are very rare. Rare? How rare? Very rare. These ones, they cost a lot. Okay, you go home, you get your Chinese cup, your father's cup. You come to look and to study, to compare. Look, this is my father's cup. You're looking, compare. They look identical. You say, look, you put it there. You put another one there, you're all standing looking at it. And somebody coughs. Come back. Oh my God, which one is my cup? Oh no, this is not good. One of them is my father's cup. Oh no. But they're identical. Yes. But one, my father drank out of it. I want that cup back. Did you touch them? I didn't. So it must be this one or this one. Sentimentality, isn't it? You see? And it means something for you. Yes, maybe it means tremendous things for you. Maybe the shopkeeper said, listen, it completes my set. I'll pay 500 euros for your cup. It's good. But I still would like to visit it sometime. Which one is my father's cup? This is a sentimental thing, you see. Is that part of life? Very much part of our life. Sentimentality, very much part of what we give meaning to things, and they deepen within our consciousness. They represent something, is part of what we want to enjoy. You see. What is the essence of the nostalgia? The essence of a nostalgia is enjoyment. You enjoy something, and you set you write it in memory. I enjoyed this. I want to enjoy this again, and again and again, because that's an enjoyable thing. But then life shows you that each time you go, we go to Chinese restaurant, we have a lovely Chinese meal, wonderful, wow. Next week, I take my date. You have to taste this. You go next week, the same food, same place, tastes different. Same cook, tastes different. Why it tastes different from last week? Many different reasons could be. Maybe what did you eat before you eat the food last week? Ice cream? Okay, what did you eat now before you're going to eat, before you ate this week today? What did you eat? Hot dog. Ah, that's it. We can't say things like that they are facts, you see. They are experiences, impressions, and like that. So we enjoy, you want to enjoy again. And your mind tells you this is enjoyable. Sometimes for myself also, I have an impression, this is what I really feel like eating now. Okay? Then my mind gives it, it all makes it all looks, Then I go and I get the thing and I'm eating it. Or eating it. What am I eating? Memory. Desire, I'm eating. Maybe if I really taste it, which I can, it just tastes like old potatoes, basically. But in the mind, it is, exquisite. Very, very subjective. Everything in the life. This is what it means. And not different from what we were speaking before. It's subjective, you see. You cannot put it as a fact. And this is why I say it is dream. It's not. We all believe we're talking about the same thing. If the past is an illusion, why the nostalgia and why it feels so innocent and good? Nostalgia, innocent and good. Take care of that one. Short ones, we start some short one. I don't know how many of this I'll get through. We just do until I get tired or bored. Or you get bored, everybody leave. Okay. Dear Mooji, I'm in the situation where I need to leave my family behind and start living in a different place. I feel like dying rather than detaching from these people and proceeding with life. I can't also go back before years where I was enjoying being ignorant. In the middle of nowhere, I am struggling. Please give me courage. Please bless me and replace this ego with emptiness. Thanks. Darshana Sundarajan. In a situation where I need to leave my family behind and start living in a different place. Some of us might know that. The time has come, a situation I find where I need to leave my family behind and start living in a different place. I feel like dying rather than detaching from these people and proceeding with life. Detaching is a strong word, because if you have to leave, some people are married, one has a job in another place, one has to stay in this place. Do you have to detach? I don't know if this is the right word. But perhaps I have to be, maybe detach is a good word, I don't know. I can't also go back before years. I can't, this is a bit strong sentence, I can't also go back before years where I was enjoying being ignorant. So I can't go back to the years where I was enjoying just being ignorant. I don't have to think about anything. I can't go back there. So in the middle of nowhere, I am struggling. But the struggling is not with anything outside particularly. The struggling is an environment you have created internally. You're looking at your situation in a poor light. Now, someone else may think, oh, I've been living in this all these years, I don't have to think about anything, I was living in ignorance and so on. But now it's time not just to grow old, but to grow up. Maybe leaving and going abroad might provide some new opportunities, some new situations. Does anybody know what's in the future? No, not even if you're a Nostradamus, you don't know what's in the future. You think it's the future just some events? It means that somehow you're open. The more sensitive you are, the more open you are, the more you find in life. So much richness. Someone is going through life and for them every day is the same, blah, 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 blah. Is every day same, blah, 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 blah? No, your mind is blah, 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 blah. You see? For someone else, it's the richness. They feel, oh my gosh, every day I'm discovering so much and so beautiful. So each one is discovering depending upon the kind of maturity, how mature they are or something like that, you know? So I can't go back to those years when I was enjoying being ignorant. In the middle of nowhere, I am struggling. In the middle of nowhere, I'm free. Why not? This sentence, I want to change it. Scratch it out. In the middle of nowhere, I'm struggling. In the middle of nowhere, I am free. And send it back. In the middle of nowhere, I'm free. I disagree, Mooji. Please give me courage. Please bless me and replace this ego with emptiness. Now, you see, please bless me and replace the ego with emptiness, which is the middle of nowhere, basically. I take away the old nowhere and I give you a new nowhere, okay? Maybe you're happy. Do we know what we're saying? In the middle of nowhere, is state of mind, this nowhere state of mind. Now, dear Father Mooji Baba, please accept me as your son. Can you bestow your blessing onto me to stay happy during these turbulent times? I want to be able to sing and dance sincerely and intensely, while amidst the uncertainty of my newly discovered illness and my job loss, even with my heavy financial responsibilities. With your blessings, I stay joyful. Okay, you have my blessing. Stay joyful. Please bestow me your blessing to have all the faith. Thank you. Kamlesh Mystery. Can you bestow your blessing upon me to stay happy during these turbulent times? Turbulent times are here. Because I gave example many times, no, of one of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj's responses to someone, because they were in Satsang just as we are here, and one man listening to the master said, "Sir, I hear all that you say. I respect you, I love your teachings. But if I am to be honest about everything, I'll have to admit I'm always experiencing suffering." The master said, "No, you're not experiencing suffering. You are suffering you're experiencing." I tell you again, it is not true that you are experiencing suffering, because there's no such thing as suffering. Look, there is suffering. Ah. No. There's no thing as suffering, because suffering is an attitude. Pain is something. Pain. But the intensity of pain also relates to the one who's perceiving it. So Maharaj says, no, you're not experiencing suffering. You are suffering the way you are experiencing. You see? Meaning that it puts back to him a choice. You don't have to suffer your experiencing. You can change your way of looking, you see, and it will make a difference for you. He was saying, I'm experiencing suffering. What does suffering look like? You see? No, it looks like you're thinking. You are not experiencing suffering. You are suffering you're experiencing. You got it, huh? Now, I want to be able to sing and dance sincerely and intensely, okay, while amidst the uncertainty of my newly discovered illness. Why you would want to dance then anyway? Why not dance anyhow? But you want to dance profoundly and sincerely, and intensely, in the middle of the uncertainty of my newly discovered illness and my job loss, even with my heavy financial responsibilities. So in the middle of all these intense things, I want to dance. Okay? Why then? Why not anytime you feel like doing it? So it means then somehow, why you want to do it then? So that you can say they don't trouble you. Or why? And how can you do this sincerely? If you could do this sincerely, you wouldn't even have to write a letter about it. You'll be doing that now. The bailiffs around your house. I'll just help you to carry that furniture. What would you say? I feel that you're setting yourself up for too much. We don't have to do that. You know, it's okay. They're going off your newly discovered illness. Sir, sorry, you got cancer. You had to do this. It's okay. What? I think you can give a bit of space to feel a little bit, perhaps what is a natural feeling, to feel a bit disappointed, a little shocked. Take it in. Okay. But I want to be able to sing and dance sincerely and intensely. That's some special talent, you know, in the middle of my newly discovered illness and my job loss, even with my heavy financial risk. Why? Only when you have naturally attained to that level of maturity, and by maturity I mean that your mind is rooted in the heart. So these things, although they happen, you say, okay, it's okay, what to do? What to do? I'll do my best. I'll change my diet. I'll try and change my diet. I'll try and my job loss could turn out to be good. Who knows? Maybe you have this job and you think, oh, I've got to keep this job at any cost, because if I lose my job, I'm totally lost. Then you lose your job. You say, oh, God. Or, wow, maybe I'll go with this and see what happens. How many people have lost a job and felt very good after? They're all here, by the way. They've run away from wherever. They're all Monte Sahaja, basically. The Republic of the Unemployed, basically. I don't feel that anybody has to try too hard. It's not a spiritual, sort of bravado to be able to, laugh in the face of whatever, Death is coming, you're losing your breath. I mean, would you want to do that when you're by yourself, for instance? Or you want to do it in front of people to show them something? So, okay. But sometimes, the people, I don't know if they think, oh, he always makes fun of people. No, I make fun of what you say sometimes. Dear Mooji, today it was seen that there is no me. It lasted for 15-20 minutes. Very clear, and then thoughts came. Even though there are thoughts, it is equally understood that is just consciousness again, and always all the mental noise has made it less intensive. That's good. So today it was seen that there is no me person. There's not really a person as such. It lasted for 15-20 minutes, so no person for 15-20 minutes. Very clear, and then that's better than some people. 15-20 minutes of no person in the waking state. It's pretty good. The only time some people are no person is like when they sneeze or something. Then for 1 second there's no identity. So this no me lasted 15-20 minutes, very clear, and then thoughts came. Of course, even though there are thoughts, it is equally understood that is just consciousness again. And always, all the mental noise has made it less intensive. So all the mental noise makes it less intensive. What should I do? I told nobody. You always say to macerate it. I never said macerate. What does macerate mean, by the way, just in case? Huh? True. I think marinate is better. Macerate means to chew. No, chop it up.
Staying in something liquid for a long time.
She said, she's French, she knows about these things. She said to stay in something liquid for a very long time until...
And then you cook it or whatever.
Then you cook it. Oh, that's okay, macerate. Macerating it. That's new, I've never heard this word before. It's true. So what should I do? I told nobody. You always say to macerate it. Sounds a bit violent, don't you? You always say to macerate it. Where? In a calm place? Alone? With a master? in an ashram with more people. Can you help me, please? Thank you very much. Jordi Pura. What should I do? I told nobody of this, you see. You always say to macerate it. Jordi, you notice I'm not laughing, okay? It's them. You always say to macerate it. I think they're having trouble with the word macerate. I thought the only person who was understanding it rightly was the French one here. And she's completely curled up in painful laughter. So you say, okay, I have to say again. You always say to macerate it. Where? In a calm place? That's it. Alone? With the master? You and the master macerating? I don't. In an ashram with more people? Can you help me, please? I'm totally confused about all of this. Nirmal, you can sort this out. I'm inclined to just say, just leave it alone. Just leave it. It's true, because sometimes we give too much energy. Something comes, troubles your mind for a minute. It's soon gone. Why to macerate something? Now, guys, you got to stop it. That is so. That is so fleeting, And this I'm serious about. Because we give too much importance to something come in your mind, and you have to go into this big mental thing about what the thing is gone, but you're still trying to solve it. I think I'll write Mooji about this. Stuff is gone. Really gone. You don't even have to have a funeral for it. It's just gone. But you're thinking you have a problem and that you have to keep on looking at it. So I feel this is a very intelligent advice. Just forget about it. It's no big. It's forgotten about you. Oh, right here. Don't take life too seriously. Beloved Sri Mooji, I love you with every fiber of my being. Now, if we're going to keep laughing, I can't carry on because I'm not able to do that. Okay? Help me a little bit. I have not left the house for 8 years. What is this? I'm not making it up. I'm reading this stuff. What to do? I have not left the house for 8 years. Illness, many, and agoraphobia. That is extreme fear of open or public places, and tormented, attacked by dark forces and even aliens. I sound insane. They are killing my body and tormenting my mind. Please, Lord, I beg that I may take refuge in Thee, that You, my beloved, protect me, please, and Your Sangha may pray for me. Not one moment of presence I have experienced. Not one moment of presence that is not true. Even here, you are never without presence. You are more presence than you are person. You know, presence is what you are, person is what you believe you are. You see, so this I cannot accept. You see, I have to tell you that. You know, not one moment of presence I've experienced. I adore You. I watch and listen to You every day for hours. Please grant me Your divine grace. Please rid me of ego and merge me with You. I love You, Kim Baker. Yes. There are many beings who also are tormented by these forces. I know this. And it's no joke for them. And I sound insane. They're trying to kill my body and torment my mind. So I will take care of this one separately over here for now. Kim, I am with this. I'm with this. Hello, Mooji. I no longer know what to drop when You guide me to leave everything. Leaving everything is easier than dropping things. Or you may even say it is the same as dropping it. Leaving simply means pulling your attention away from something. You see? Dropping something may feel like I can't drop it. But leaving things you can. You can just learn to turn away from them. In the beginning it can feel very difficult, sometimes maybe even impossible, because of the strength of habit, you see. And it can feel like the thing has got you. You see, you can't see where you are holding on to it. You can only see where it feels like it is holding on to you. You know, you may have heard about this, that in, well, its story started, I know one particular story, you know, like in a village in India. A village was being just tormented by monkeys. They would come into the village, and one particular one would come and just be very destructive. He would go and not just, you know, take bananas and food, but he would so turn tables over and smash the kitchen and all this type of stuff. So they couldn't bear it any longer, and they sent for one expert at getting rid of these nuisance monkeys. And one man come, and he's used to them. He knows the monkey behavior and everything. So they call him, please, could you help us? You know, this monkey is completely destroying our livelihood and our quality of life and everything. So he comes, okay, I'll take care of it. He sits for a couple of days and he observes what the monkeys are doing. So then what happened is that, and this is not untypical, what he did was he got one coconut, a dry coconut, and he cut it, and he made a hole in the coconut, just big enough for the monkey to put the hand inside the coconut. And then he tied the other end of the coconut with the string, they say, no? And they tied it to one rock, piece of stone, no? Then inside the coconut, he put a piece of banana, ripe banana, very smelling one, strong smelling, and put it where the monkey always come. And then he just waited in the bush. He was waiting, watching. For a while, nothing happened. Then the monkey comes, he saw. The monkey comes down, he starts to go, move, 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 move. And the people say, oh, he's back. And the monkey comes and he sees the coconut. And he picks up the coconut. Look, he sees the fruit inside. No? So he natural instinct, he puts his hand inside and he takes the banana. But because he has a fist, he can't get it out. You can go in like this, but when you go to fist, he can't take it out. So he's trying to take the hand, but the hand won't go to the hole. And then he gets very annoyed, you see? Then the monkey catcher he puts down his pipe, and he starts to go across now. He had this machete, and he's coming towards the monkey. The monkey is getting terrified and angry. He can't. He imagines that the coconut has got him. But the coconut is not doing anything. Poor coconut is just there. He's got a hole in his head, that's all is there. And he's going, smashing, nothing is coming. Because this monkey catcher, he knows monkey mind. You see? Then he goes over, you see? And he grabs him, he ties him up. Then he squeezes the hand painfully, so he has to drop the banana because he doesn't want to drop the banana. And then the hand loose and he pulls the hand out. Then he goes and takes monkey away. So the point of the story, the illustration is that he wants the banana. Because he wants the banana, he got trapped. His own desire trapped him. No? And then he's trying to get free, but his desire caused him not to be able to let go. If he lets go of the banana, he could free the hand, he's gone. But he wants to be free, but he wants the banana. You see? So he imagines that the coconut has got him. The coconut's not got him. It's the same size hole that he came in, we can't come out. So the same thing happens sometimes. We want something, you get it, then you feel trapped by something, and you're feeling, oh, please help me to be free of this trap. And you don't see that it is somehow you play a part in it because you want this thing, and that is keeping you feeling trapped, you see. So, I no longer know what to drop when you guide me to leave everything. So I just simply mean leave everything for a moment. You can have them back, I promise. Huh? You left everything, you found something, isn't it? Yeah. And I say, you can go back and get your stuff or not? So have you collected your stuff? What we're gonna do with it? Burn it. Bring it to me and I'll burn it. It is frustrating when you say this because I feel like there is something more to drop, but I can't find what it is. Yet it still burdens me. I don't know what it means to leave everything also. If I say leave this alone for a moment, you don't know what it means? I said, don't worry about it. No, leave it. Just drop it. Leave it. No, I can't drop it. I don't know how to drop it. I drop it. Okay, how are you holding it? How are you holding it? Drop it. Okay? Well, I can't drop it. Okay, just leave it. Can't leave it. Okay, stay with it. What's the problem? You can't drop? As I always say, drop it. No? Leave it. Okay, leave it. You can't do it. Can't help you. I don't know what it is that I'm looking onto anymore that binds me. Maybe your mind is too literal. You understand literal? You believe every single thing. At first, I could feel a thought or belief that was binding me and know exactly what it was about, its size and shape and influence on my experience. Now I feel as if I am barren and lost in this world. Again, feeling before, feeling now also. Sometimes I feel listening to satsang doesn't help guide me anymore and only frustrates me. But by myself, I am also lost. Is there another way you can phrase this guidance having to do with just awareness? Thank you, Mooji. Robbie. Is there another way you can phrase this guidance having to do with just awareness? If I say, okay, you know the word awareness, you know what it means, stay just as awareness. Don't have to leave anything, get anything, change anything, fix anything, kill anything. You don't have to do anything, just stay as awareness. Then I hope you don't write me a letter to say, but how you stay? How I leave, how I drop, how I stay. What advice to give? Hello, Mooji. I was at the Zimar retreat. Thank you from all my heart for your pointings and the revelations that came with. I told you about the ice cream and the poo. It sounds like you're a celebrity here now. Who was it, the ice cream and the poo? He's here?
No. He was standing on that side.
Oh, you remember, huh? Okay. I told you about the ice cream and the poo. The poo takes the form of attacks, possession of bad spirits, heats, screaming, vomiting energy. It's 24/24. I meant to mean 24/7, I suppose. It was there during the invitation and was a lot there during some nights during the week. I stay as I am, and I can now observe those attacks, smiling inside, staying as the self. I almost want this letter to end here. But it hasn't. Let's see what happens. But those attacks are really, really aggressive. I cannot sleep. Okay. It takes energy, time, and blocking my voice. I'm a singer, in brackets. Could it be the agony of the ego? Do I just need to stay as the untouched one? Yes! Please! It was not easy to write you, as I am shameful about those things that seem ridiculous, that I can't figure it out by myself. Could you help me, Master? Love you, love you, love you. Esteban Merlin. Merlin is also a magician, no, Merlin? But those attacks are really aggressive. How they can be aggressive. I can almost not sleep. It takes energy, time. It blocks my voice. I'm saying, could it be the agony of the ego? Yes. There cannot be agony without the ego. That's for sure. Do I just need to stay as the untouched one? Can you? If you have to stay as the untouched one, then I don't know if you can last, because it feels like that's an effort. You must recognize the untouched one and know it is you. If you try and stay as the untouched one, your mind knows that you don't believe you are. Isn't it? It's like your mirror, no? In a way. It knows, you're just staying as the untouched one. That's not the untouched one. I don't know what to say here. Everything comes. Maybe it has to be as ridiculous as this. Each time you move away from the what is and go back to the what is not, to the old regime of thinking, it should be as, these are the kind of ridiculous things that are going to happen. Why? Because then you won't want to go back there to that old place. Isn't it? You're going to see that, it doesn't work. It never worked from there. And you have found the greatest place. You have found your imperishable self. What is going back there? So sometimes this pain has to be there, because we learn from pain also, no? Maybe even more quickly. Then you have to let it go and say, every time I go to my mind, this is the stupid thing that happened to me. When I go back to the self, what happened, you say? It was there during the invitation and was a lot too nice. I stay as I am, and I can now observe those attacks, smiling inside, staying as the self. That's the sweetest part of the letter. No? But I'm not just here for sweet letters, but I have to point out, this is, if we could only be finished there. Suppose someone wrote, same letter, about all the rest. Hello, Mooji. I stay as I am. I can now observe all attacks, smiling inside, staying as the self. Bye. Yeah, wonderful. But it comes with all this suffering. What is causing that? You go back to your old way of thinking, and then you see all of that. Who wants to live like that? So there has to be, in sometimes, an enforced choice. It's too painful to go back there. When you didn't know about this was all you had, you got on with it. But now you know of this exquisite being, and now this becomes unbearable. You see how the life is like that? So it's not so bad. It's just saying, don't go back there. Don't. Every time you come here, every time you come here, I'm going to bite you. And you say, okay, let me see where you live. Okay. Are you going to keep going? Some people do. They manage to keep going. Hi, Mooji. I realize the self. Often I am being the true self, consciousness, that which is not mine, undisturbed by the mind. There seems to be this final strong attachment, though. It's been suffering, most likely caused by some kind of son-dad complex that made me realize the truth. When I get into contact with my father, attention shifts back to person, bringing back suffering, the old urge to having some proof myself, waves of anger, even, damn dad, because of you all this sweet bliss has faded away. Typical ego stuff. Should I take some kind of action or marinade into being? I don't speak to him about my self-inquiries, as doing so when identified as person makes matters worse, I think. This makes action difficult, no? You see my predicament here? Om. Thanks, amen. S-T-I-J-N is what? Somebody's name. S-T-I-J-N. Stein? Okay. I don't know where this name is from. I've not heard. Dutch. Stein? Stein. Okay. So, I realize the self, you say. Often I am being the true self, consciousness, undisturbed by the mind. There seems to be this strong attachment, though. It's being suffering, most likely due to some kind of son and dad complex that made me realize the truth. When I get into contact with my dad, attention shifts back to the person, bringing back suffering. The old urge to having to prove myself, waves of anger, even like the attitude, damn dad, because of you all this sweet bliss has faded away. Typical ego stuff. Should I take some action, some kind of action, or marinate more into being? This is the most if I could convey to you, what I would convey, I feel, is the most potent and direct advice, but perhaps the one that's most difficult to follow. How to get out of this, you see. The problem is not the father-son. Even the complex things happen in the past. That's not the problem, actually. The problem is identity. This is where the problem is. That you're locked into an identity due to the force of circumstances and habit. And each time, somehow, when you're away from, say, in this instance, maybe your father is what you're having the difficulty with, or your parent or something. When you're away from them, the pressure is not there. So your lungs can open up, feel fine. But there's still a condition, you see. The condition is, I'm fine if I don't see my father or my mother. And that's not freedom, you see. So, what to do? Push yourself in that situation? Well, no, you can. Like when the situation comes, you have to learn to use it. Most people, they don't use their situations well. They just complain, they blame, they run away. They stick their head in the sand and their bottom to the sky, okay? They don't deal with things. You have to learn to see where the gift is. Something is an opportunity for growing, for learning, for transcending. But if you stay personal, you miss it. You'll only blame, because he's always saying this, and she's always saying this, and you just infuriate each other, and you just make the devil happy, basically. Something has to change, you see. And the greatest change I can recommend to anybody is you have to look at your identity. The one who is saying, if only my dad would be more like this and more like that. So suppose father listened to that and said, okay, I'm going to try and change this, and tries and change. You see? And then after a while, you see, after you find another fault. But that's this, I did my best, I'm doing my best, I changed, I stopped doing this to you, I stopped asking you to find a job, didn't I? Yeah, but still, you do, because you have not changed. You see? How to change you? Actually, you cannot be changed. You must be exchanged. Okay? They're not asking you to change. You got to get exchanged. You got to come to your true self and give up this identity. Something is your strongest attachment. Why is it attachment? Because it's not you. If it's you, it's not an attachment. It's not you. It's an attachment. Strongest attachment is to the idea you have of who you are. Although it's always changing. Still something, yeah. You know how you know it's not you? You can perceive it. You can see it. You can watch your feelings, and you're putting flesh and blood to your feelings because of the identity. You think you are this. You start to behave like a son. Maybe sons and relatives, they have expectations of their parents, and the parents have expectations of their children. You see? When you break that, then your real relationship between you can be very beautiful. But as long as you think, you're entitled to something, I'm entitled to criticize you because I gave birth to you, and I'm entitled to ask you for money because you fathered me. You're responsible for my life. You're going to have trouble. So what is the solution? You come to Satsang. You begin to listen to the guidance which is going to get you out of this state in the most beautiful way.
If he's from Holland, we have different Sangha groups. Maybe he can find a Sangha group.
If you are from Holland, we have 11 Sangha groups in Holland. And it would be good to get in touch with them. You can go to, I don't know how you do this, you look on the website. And get in touch with your local Sangha. And maybe at first, something inside you is a bit rebellious. I don't know, be with these people. But don't listen to this voice. This is the voice that's pushing you down and down and down and down. You have to stop listening to it, you see. You have to go in spite of your feelings. You know, in the beginning, a lot of resistance is going to come. You have to push yourself through the resistance, and then you start to feel some light, and it will take you through. I'll be there with you also. You see, that's what I would recommend. I cannot give you an over-the-table remedy today. I say you have to start to look a little bit of work, and you'll come out. You're going to come out of a trap. Because I know the place where you have to come. I'm in the place where you have to come. So I don't even want to tell you go, I want to tell you come. Come a bit more this direction, you see. And you will come out of that. Why? Because it's not original to you. You were not like that from the beginning. From before the beginning, you are the same as you are now, but you don't know it. You have to awaken to it. Not that you create it. You cannot create yourself. You can create a lot of false impressions about yourself and around yourself. But yourself is something very true. And you live your whole life and you don't discuss the truth. You don't discover the truth of yourself. What kind of life it is? You see? And it's not that it's, it's so strenuous, it's so difficult. It's not. It's a joy to discover. Even before you ultimately find, you're already coming into joy. You feel so excited, so grateful, so thankful. So, my God, what have I done to deserve such a chance? This is amazing. This is grace, amazing grace. Yes, hallelujah, hallelujah. Mm-hmm.
What is when, because the parents are not doing their work, so they hold on the...
Listen, let me tell you, she asked me, but what if the parent doesn't change? He's still holding on to a certain position. We don't know if the parent is really as bad. We don't know. Maybe it's the son. Maybe it's both of them together. We don't know. So I don't talk about that. When dad writes to me, I'll talk about that. But the son himself, if you clear yourself, your relationship will change, whether your dad wants it or not. This is how this is the power of the self. If you change, they will change. Because it's not that if you pretend to change, it'll catch you. So you're carrying on like you're going, yeah, I can see, look at that. You see? But if you really sincerely, something is, you woke up, you see, already you're coming from another place. You're coming from a higher state. And you're not trying to overpower, you're trying to really meet. You have love now, you're coming from love, you're not coming from anxiety. You're not coming from past, you're coming from love. You are moving in a mighty space. So many people, even in Satsang here, they know what I'm speaking fully. Because when they come here, they were little, gremlins. But then they blossom very beautifully, and now their parents are coming to Satsang. Because they say, I saw some change, and it's amazing. I want to get some of that. You see? That's genuine. If it's not genuine, they think, now she's trying to pretend to be some saint. And then that's going to really big fight, you see. If you do what is right from inside your heart, it cannot turn out to be wrong for someone else. Oh, they may go, ouch, but they turn out good. Again, if you do what is right in your heart, it's like, my mind is telling me, but my heart says just just stay here for now. If I look for reasons, my mind will win. But if I look at love, my heart will stay. I stay here for now. Okay? And different result. If you do what is right inside your heart, it cannot turn out to be wrong for others, because truth serves everyone. Even if you feel pain, if you're rejected and so on, it's going to turn out good for you too, because you're not living in your right place. But maybe you're too weak to admit it, you don't know. Then the stronger one says, no, I have to be in this position. And you're clinging, but then you wake up. You see like that. Beloved Father, thank you. By the grace of your pointings, the self-aware seeing is now a steady climate of my perception, quickly discerning any mind suggestions and marinating in its own vigilant, self-centered energy. Beautiful silence and subtle joy are the perfume here. There is a question. Quite often there are short flashes of even subtler seeing, the one that sees even the perceiving. This space of being and world, all as if on a screen in front. This seer has no quality. There is no experience in him. No words pertain to it. Am I to keep quietly marinating in presence, which is a blissful joy by itself, or to intentionally keep recognizing the subtler seer more and more? Even though I remember you saying that this ultimate one will announce itself, could you please say something more about it? Well, I'll say something more, although the letter is not finished. Am I to keep quietly marinating in presence? Presence means what? Presence means that subjective, intuitive sense of conscious presence, the way that you know that you exist. This knowing and being, they are the same thing, but it's not knowing something phenomenally. It's not knowing it through information. It's like a knowing itself. It's like this kind of knowing. But it is the feeling of existence in the body that announces itself in the form I am, means I exist here. So this is one of the early steps into awakening, that you come to see that you're not merely the person, but the weakness of the person and the world, you see. That is the first place. So here I gave an illustration, which I will use again. If you imagine that there's a tree, and in this tree there's a bird building a nest, This bird building a nest represents our life in the world, building a home, looking for a job, taking care of your family, all these things. That's the first bird. So on a branch just above this first bird is another bird that looks the same bird. But this bird is not building anything. It just quietly looks. Okay? It is not fidgety. It's not looking around like this. It's very quiet. It just looks. It can see the first bird. It can feel also the sky and the rain, the wind, the sea. This bird represents the conscious presence, the presence that observes life, but is not directly doing anything, But because it is there, the feeling of doing something comes, or not doing something. This is the sense of conscious presence. We are all this conscious presence, actually. But this conscious presence, it is the earliest manifestation of the absolute principle, the highest principle. When it moves forward, it manifests itself. Its earliest and purest manifestation is this sense, I am, this same conscious presence. When you're in a position to be aware of the conscious presence, you are in the position of the unspeakable. There's no dialogues there. There's no stories, no history. There's nothing to describe. It is as though it is the womb of existence. From here, everything arises and everything is expressed. But this is not directly doing anything. It is simply the cause of all of them. So, the writing is here saying, no, quite often there is a sort of flashes of even subtler seer, the one that sees even perceiving this space of being and the world, all as if they're on a screen in front of it. This seer that I'm speaking about, the ultimate principle, has no quality. There is no experience in him. No words pertain to it. Am I to keep quietly marinating in presence, which means to stay in the place of the observing, that's observing the world and names and forms? Am I to stay in this position, which is by itself beautiful, or to intentionally keep recognizing the subtler seer more and more? Only the seer can recognize the seer. Only the ultimate can perceive the ultimate. When you're in a position to be perceiving the sense of presence, you're in that unspeakable place. It is not, I call it the place of the unborn. Even though I remember you saying that this ultimate one will announce itself, it announces itself to itself. It's not announcing itself to other. Even the sense of conscious presence is itself also. Could you please say something more about it? There is this yearning to recognize the home, the heart, where you abide. But even if it should never announce itself, this presence itself feels more than what I could ever wish for. Thank you so much for wiping my eyes clean, Father. I love you and I place my head on your feet. David from Czech Republic. Very nice letter. Are you tired, everybody? Me? No. Sometimes. At the moment, it's fine for now. I've got these two. And some water. Yes, let's take this one. Hello, Mooji. This perception and life has been profoundly changed and shaken by the last Satsang retreat we had in Zimar. I finally understand in the heart what the Satsangs are pointing to, and never felt so empty, light, and complete before. Since I left the retreat, residues of emotional person stuff are passing pretty strong. Everything that is not true profoundly hurts to maintain. So my relationships are falling away, leaving the remaining sense of person feeling isolated in this. The person too will gradually be falling away. It's not needed. If it stays, let it be just playful, superficial. It's not It's taken too seriously. It is only a kind of role played by consciousness. You see? If you realize that you are the consciousness playing this, then its actions and so on will not be so consequential. You will not feel as though you're suffering that play. It's just a play. But when you take it to be real, it means that you are dreaming. You forget your true nature. So, since I left the retreat, residues of emotional personal stuff are passing pretty strong. Everything that is not true profoundly hurts to maintain. Okay, so my relationships fall away. What it mean? Relationships, see? Maybe with friends and different things, maybe for a while it feels very difficult to be in some company where you were used to being comfortable. This is just the nature of things. Is sometimes when we move very deeply due to inspiration or some big change, sometimes a crisis provokes this type of change, but it's a beautiful change. Sometimes your friends can't keep up with you. Sometimes they miss their idea of you, and then they start to behave, you're not relating so well for a while. It is okay to take a bit of space. It is quite okay. You see? You may find that this period of solitude is really good. You may find you meet new beings also. And you still love the old friends. Sometimes your family also, you don't understand each other for a while because maybe many people, their concerns are very much to do with material existence and whatever. And maybe your attitude has changed a bit. It's much more internal, much more to do with the sensitivity towards your own self and the other beings. It's playing like that for now. And you may not be able to see eye to eye for a while. But you still love your family, you still have deep respect for each other. But sometimes you may just have to take a little space. It happens. And sometimes family grow even more strong because of that. You learn to respect each other more, not take each other for granted. So it's not bad that we feel challenged sometimes in our relationship with our loved ones. Sometimes it's necessary. So don't run away and hide and so on. Sometimes it's necessary. But aggressiveness doesn't produce the best results. So this somehow impacting on the relationships leaves the remaining sense of the person feeling isolated in this. So the ego is hurting. Ego is hurting. It says, oh, I'm losing my tribe. And they are leaving me, I can't relate to them. And should I go back? Should I fake it? That I'm really the same old person? And what good will that do? I feel there's nothing else I could do but to be in Sahaja and serve the truth. I would like to really deepen and cherish this discovery in the true place you created, surrendered by the energy field of the Sangha that allows complete immersion in the self. Plus there's a strong feeling of belonging with the bhajans. Thank you for helping and allowing me to be totally empty and disappear. I love you infinitely beyond any concept of love, Roxanne. Roxanne. If you are determined in the beautiful way, not forceful, but you know something inside, there come a time when you simply know something. You don't know how you know, but you know that you have to be in this place, or you know that you have to be in this. This is the place, actually, this place, that you must be here, no matter what happens. And you put your energy, you put your attention here. And step by step you make it. Gradually you find the right balance. You attune yourself to the cosmic pulse, and something feels, You'll meet challenges, but you're growing. You're growing much, much faster than as an ego. Because ego has so much complexity. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps back, 2 forward, to the left a little bit, to the right, shoot that one, it's a struggle. But when you are evolving as consciousness, it's much faster, it's nothing personal, so everything is moving much, much more powerfully, you see. So you continue, don't so much put your attention, oh yes, there's another retreat coming up in this place. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to go and do this. Don't step ahead of yourself. Just keep being where you are and be totally where you are. Suppose you have only 2% of faith. I say, Mooji, I only have 2% of faith. Good. Be 100% in that 2%. You got it? Be 100% in that 2% you have there. That's all. So I only got 2, but I'm 100% holding on to my 2. Just, and we see what happened. Dear beloved Mooji, from around the age of 15, I began experiencing a deep anxiety and dissatisfaction within myself. Over the course of about a decade, I have saturated myself in all manner of psychological and spiritual techniques in pursuit of lasting freedom and peace. I realize that this has only been the mind's clever way of postponing and playing games to avoid discovering the true self. Did you hear that? It's true. This has been an important realization for me. I wish for nothing more than to give up these games and come home to the Absolute. But the force of the mind is so incredibly strong. It's strong against who? Don't learn the answers I give. Huh? Follow them. No? It is strong against who? Okay, who can the mind be strong against? Let's try. It's strong against the body. Mind is strong against the body. Okay? He's overpowering the body. He's strong against who? He's strong against the person. The person is what? The person is somehow an imaginary entity created with the identity, I am the body, and my conditioning. Could be there he's strong against that one. Because this person is made of consciousness also. The root of him is consciousness. The delusion of him is the belief I am the body and I am my conditioning. That makes the consciousness very weak. Or is it that he's strong against the sense of presence, which is effectively the second bird who's looking? Is he strong against this one? Or is it the absolute principle of pure awareness? The mind, hey, absolute. No, forget that. It's not time. So identify where he's strong. Against whom is he strong? It must be against your self-image, your identity, a mixture of presence and person. And the person still complaining. Okay, so let me pick you up here again now. I realize that this has only been the mind's clever way of postponing and playing games to avoid discovering the true self. This has been an important realization for me. I wish for nothing more than to give up these games and come home to the Absolute. But the force of the mind is so incredibly strong. When following your teachings, which I know in my heart to be the only worthwhile pointings, the mind has a way of reducing them to straining intellectual pursuits. So he's trying to turn my pointing into like heavy intellectual. Okay? Yeah. He can do that, Yeah, look, what Mooji says, okay? Is you must try to become the Absolute. Oh, that's really tiring. I can't do that. It has created an entire identity out of the strident seeker. And I cannot seem to follow your teachings for long without this ugly and overwhelming influence coming in to sabotage them. I wish I could think up a response to this now, as an example. It doesn't seem to matter what I do. You who do. You have to find out. You have to find out. It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I feel like I am completely at the mercy of the serpent mind. Eat this apple. I don't want. Eat this apple. I want a banana. No, apple. Please help me to transcend its influence and come home to my true self. My heart longs to encounter you and your timeless teachings in the fresh, so to speak, and I plan to attend retreat with you at the end of the year. Love and gratitude from James, Perth in Australia. It's the same thing. I'm always talking about the same thing. My mind says, my mind says, my mind says. My mind is so heavy, my mind. He comes in and he says, you're no good. And then I just completely collapse. Mind can really have a full playing field with you. Huh? But how? Can you imagine the mind coming to Jesus and saying, you know, don't you ever get fed up with these 12 guys walking around? To which he may say, you know what, you got a point sometimes. But, you know, look, you know, all this stuff about going around and teaching and stuff, you know, what's the point? Nobody listens to you anyway. Probably tried, I mean, I don't know. Mind, I cannot seem to follow your teachings for long without this ugly and overwhelming influence coming in to sabotage them. It doesn't seem to matter what I do, and this is why I say you need to keep going back and looking, where are you identifying from and with and as? Do look for this, because that's where the attack happens. To that it happens, or to that it cannot happen. It's not what the devil, it's not what the, you know, what the serpent, what's the serpent going to do? Bite you? Sting you? Is he a rattlesnake, the serpent? What does he do? He doesn't have no harms. He can't punch you. Maybe tie you up or something. It's all in the mind. And the mind, you say mind is a very strong identity. Let's change the word mind and talk about identity. Because there's no mind without identity. Identity as a person makes open the door to this type of abuse, self-abuse or whatever it is. You know, we have these Sunday Satsangs in which we try to cover as much as possible, but there are things that need to be just repeated and to push and to look at you, and it's difficult to do it in just 2 or 3 hours. Sometimes someone come and within a short talk, they flower into something. Unexpectedly, they come, and it happens like that. And sometimes people are at it for years looking, so you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. You need to sit down and keep quiet. And this one, you're too lazy. You need to try a little bit more. So how can you be with all of this? Grace is very present in everything. If you are genuine in all of this, because there are people, disciples from different disciplines, you can say. Some of them are so extreme, they do extreme things. Here, you're not doing anything extreme. Maybe we should do some extreme things. You just sit around and sort of like, eat olives and ice cream and stuff. And discover the absolute. So you have to have some more trouble. Because then it seemed too easy. And so when things seem too easy, you take it for granted. And nothing. People are doing amazing things to get a little experience. Amazing things to get a little experience. You're doing hardly anything to find the most amazing thing. This is the Supreme Being maybe playing. He said, look, I can go to all of them. I can just kind of undress myself. And they still would just not. Undress myself means remove all my apparent complexities for them, and they will still not recognize me. To this group over there, I just tried to show them just to look at one of my buttons, and they're totally, they're studying with everything, and I reveal myself totally. And you're, yeah, but Mooji, my mind says it's too difficult to reach the self. Help me to reach the self. And I see some of you looking at me like, yeah, and? What can I say? Actually, these are two letters that are the two last ones, but they look a bit long, I don't know. Should I try one? Beloved Master, I put my head at your feet. By this letter, I would like to encourage beings who are participating in a retreat in Zimar. Soon you will go back home, and I would like to encourage you to join your local Sangha group. I am writing from my experience. Many years I was alone in my spiritual journey, and when there was opportunity to gather with a Sangha and watching satsangs, I denied this and thought that it is not worthy to me and just wasting my time. I have participated in retreats in Monte Sahaja in Rishikesh season, and now I can speak from my heart that there is no big difference either we sitting in satsang hall or in our home with Sangha. Of course, it's big fortune and privilege to sit with the Master in his holy physical presence. Nothing compared with this, but I want to say that the presence of our Master never ends and we feel him everywhere. My body, my senses, my mind don't see a difference. I speak frankly. When Master rises from the chair and giving darshan to people, I am stretching out my head to looking out from someone's shoulder in order to meet with Guruji's eyes. My mind don't see the difference that the Master is looking from a screen. You are so lucky to come to Zimar. Find the Sangha in your region and take part in watching satsangs together, and you will understand what I am about. For the good of yourself and other beings, you can create a local Sangha if there is no group in your town. You be the first one in your Sangha then it will be 2, then 3, and like this your Sangha will be growing. You will become lighthouse to beings who are lost in the ocean of this deceptive world. And it is saying in the scriptures, for where 2 or 3 gathered together in my name, there I am with them. My gratitude to all Moscow Sangha, especially to Vanya and Irina, who opened the doors of her house and took care of us. With love, Rami. P.S. Sorry for my English. Maybe it is not correct sometimes. I embrace you in one heart. Yours faithfully, Larissa Barakeyeva. This is a beautiful letter by somebody who sees and the power and the support that happens in a Sangha. As she said before spending so much time on your own and thinking, yeah, this is good for me, and not making use of the Sangha, and then finding a Sangha, being with them, and see that they support each other. You see, whoa, people think like I do also on this, or they have the same difficulty, and we watch somebody recommend, did you see this particular video that really addresses this point? Is it really? We look at it together and wow, the thing you're trying to find is there. This is the support of Sangha. So I'm very happy. I rarely read letters like this. But more and more people around the world, and why, you can say, so many beings almost from every country. I see. Why is this? Because the pointing is universal. It's not just secular. It is speaking whatever language you speak. We all speak one language, and that language is consciousness. English, Russian, French, these are just interpretations of consciousness. And this is itself an evidence, no? That beings from diverse cultural expressions can understand, can find the pearl inside this pointing, which is yourself. I don't mean your personal self. Your universal self, your universal being. This era is not for secular thinking, actually. They call this period the age of Kali Yuga. It's not supposed to be a good age. They say much darkness will come in the world. Yes. It has always been there. Both the darkness and the light is there. But also the absolute. You see? And yet in this age, the consciousness and the grace of consciousness has not ceased to display abundantly its availability and its beauty. It's shining radiantly like that. And universal. This is not the age of just secular and sectarian thinking anymore. We have to outgrow. We have not done so well as a species. Huh? Everybody, you, me, you. You see, it has not worked. It has not worked. This whole human experience thing, it doesn't work by itself. Until it discovers and merges with the universal being, this place is a suffering place. We have to wake up to the inner one. The outer one we have pursued enough. Now the inner one, the innermost truth. And when I see that human beings from diverse cultural backgrounds can together be coming to the same conclusion of seeing without corresponding with each other. It's not that you went outside to see if you agree. Right from where you are, people coming from the first time and people coming from many times can see it's this thing, it is this. How you can agree? Because you're not agreeing with your mind. You are seeing with your heart. It has to be a hard time. Man has to discover his heart. Huh? My master also, when they were asked many years ago, they asked Papaji, when will mankind begin to discover the truth properly? He says, when mankind becomes kind man. You see? What is kind man? The one who has transcended his person. Mankind does have nothing to do with male, by the way, humankind. When we transcend our person, you see, then we will see with universal eyes. And today I'm showing you, you're showing me also, that this is possible. It is not, it's alive, it's awake, it is present. I'm not talking about some utopian kind of wishful thinking. We experimented, we looked, and we saw. And we still see, not just saw. And for a while, it will be seesaw. You understand? It will be seesaw. You understand what I mean, seesaw? Yes, I see, now I don't see, I saw. I said, no, you see. Last letter for today. We can do it? Yes. Thank you. Namaste, Mooji Baba. I met for the first time what you call an avatar, and that was in Puttaparthi, where I met Sai Baba. At that time, I did not know anything about India or Hinduism. I was completely ignorant about sages, India, and so on. I was at that time 43 years old. During my stay at the ashram, I wept for at least 2 days without knowing the reason for it. I was crying, I don't know the reason for it. However, after a difficult night, I woke up the next morning totally reborn. I was pleased with myself and the rest of the world. For that day, from that day on, I experienced the magic of life. In 1993, I discovered the Kriya Yoga from Babaji, and I was initiated on the 144 Kriyas. On the third level of the initiation, that was in the year 1996, due to the grace of Babaji, I experienced ecstasy where everything was one. This vision made me realize that all forms were totally one. After this wonderful realization, I have traveled the world in order to find once more this previous ecstasy, from Egypt to Mexico and of course to south of India, visiting several ashrams such as the one from Ramana, Ma Anandamayi, and many others. I also allowed myself to use plants such as liboya from Africa and the ayahuasca from Peru. Despite all of that, nothing concrete has been revealed during that year to me. I started to think that I had been dreaming, and life went on and on. I have met you in 2016 in Zimar for a silent retreat, and then my heart started vibrating. That was love at first sight. I understood what is the human being, his beliefs, his knowledge, his habits, his own story, and so on. Mooji, you have awakened the experience that I lived on the year 1996, above all the feelings. I met you once more last February in Rishikesh, where we spent 15 days together. Through this gathering, I understood that we are living in personal mode. I mean mental, emotional, and not pure consciousness. If I remember my experience from 1996, the mind is not anymore present. That means that duality do not exist. There is any technique to be used. There isn't any technique to be used. Everything is. The grace, the heart, the one and universal love are present. In your teachings, you say everything is present, everything is in yourself. My question to you, Mooji, all those transformations, sublimations, transfigurations, visions, and so on, are they part of the immense self? Do you think that I may find once more in my present incarnation this dimension of full peace, joy, compassion, and be free from duality? Love, Mooji Baba, Francois, France. Going back, my questions to you, Mooji. All those transformations, sublimations, transfigurations, visions, and so on, are they part of the immense self? Yes. They manifest from the self. But because they appear and disappear, they cannot be given the same status as the self, as the absolutely unchanging one. You ask, do you think that I may find once more in my present incarnation this dimension of full peace, joy, compassion, and be free from duality? Yes. Come here. I have to say that. I'm not afraid to say that. Because if it is in you, if your mind is not full of resistance and cynicism, why you should not experience this? If you have gone through, you've said you've been through all these experiences, they come and they're very strong. Don't be attached to any experience, however sublime it is. You can have tremendous thing, tremendous experience. Myself also. But I don't value them in any way so great. They come. The greatest is to find the one who is unchanging. Of all the siddhi yogas and all of these things that you can experience and all the states and traveling to different lokas, I don't care about it. If you find the one who is unchanging and you are merged in that, it's enough. Because then everything that comes and goes, you will not run after them. Enjoy, of course. Even the mundane, you may actually shine light upon the mundane and make it something divine. Nothing is mundane. If you have the eyes to see it, the heart to appreciate it, nothing is so mundane. Everything can shine with the light of the Supreme. Do you think that I may find once more in my present incarnation this dimension of full joy, compassion, and be free from duality? Duality is not a crime, it is not a mistake. But you must not be attached to it. Without duality, there can be no experience. You want to experience, no? Full peace and joy and compassion, you want to experience them. They are the fragrance of the self. They are the perfume of the self. So all that is required is to drop your ideas about the self, about what you want to experience. Because it's not like you are calling a tune to the self. Hey, self, I want to hear some Bob Marley. Okay. Well, you don't have to. No, you come empty. In the same way, you don't go to a restaurant and bring your own menu. Don't come to life with all these different things you want. Come and you will experience abundance, even without seeing, even without desiring that. So I put this offering to you, Mr. Francois. Françoise, so you're French, you're not so far. I thought maybe I have to invite you from India. But that's not difficult. But from France, you don't even need visa. You can come. You must first check if it's available time to come, and we can work out maybe a way that we can sit. If there is earnestness, if there's the timing, I don't see why someone like this would not see. But don't come expecting it a certain way. This is the biggest setup you can make for yourself, is to keep thinking that I know what the self is, I just want to experience it. No. You don't know anything at all. That is the best way. Yes, you don't know anything at all. It's not to know, it is to be. So all these things we talk about, I'm very happy that we can come together like this. No? I don't know where many of you come, many faces are new. Who brought you here? The self brought you here. So that we can look, where are these discussions taking place? Where human beings can look guided safely into the inner realms of the self. And can bring that light into the world that needs to be nurtured by it. I'm not sending anyone on a mission. The mission is to go inside. Find out. It's not difficult, it's been demonstrated also. Many people are doing many harsh training to have just a taste of what you have seen. You see. And somebody may come here and think, yeah, well, we went there, but it wasn't any good, they didn't have any real experience. You see? I wanted him to, somehow levitate out of the room or something. Then I know that he is really something. I said, that would be nice for me, but what is it for you? You know there are people who can levitate, but they don't know themselves. I mean, that's useful for when your bank is looking for you. You can levitate and go. So, of what value is it to your real life? No. But the one who is awake to the self, truly. We use words, we are poets at using words. Love and peace and joy and passion, compassion, openness, grace, insight, intuition, pure intelligence, divinity. But where do we find the examples? If not in you, you see? So it has to be something that, don't tell people about it. Be it. You see? Don't be it for them, don't demonstrate, but you are that. When you are that, the people will begin to respond. You don't even have to tell them. They will already come to you, something. They'll have a feeling, isn't it? If you don't believe that, watch even the animals, they will come to you. You see? They will come because, they maybe don't speak English, they don't come to Satsang and all these big talks and whatever, but they know the vibration. The vibration is the language. The vibration tells them it is safe, and they can relax with you, and they can feel the sense of, the original sense of oneness, where you can go. Okay. Thank you. Very good. I believe we're going to have a bit of music. We're good? Yes. And Are there some people who came to the retreat and leaving tomorrow? You, let me see you. 1, 2. Okay, wow. You're 2, no? Yeah. Okay. I'm blessed that you, whatever you have really grasped inside the heart, that it continues to mature and to somehow blossom powerfully, and that you indeed, don't fall back into the delusions of the mind of the old regime of thinking, and that you're growing so powerfully, even as you sleep, even that this maturing will continue inside, this nurturing that will continue inside, and that this will be a rich time for you, rich and enriching time of intuition and insight and just pure magicality of life. And that you will not be overwhelmed by your mind or by the whole things, because now he wants to attack, you see. He's not happy, he wants to attack. But you don't have to attack, you only have to be. This is the power of the self. You don't have to fight, you just have to be true. And he's true. You are true and he's true. You see? So, anyone who has come genuinely for truth, I am very happy if anything I share with you can be of service to you. That you continue to move in that grace that is already in you. And until I see you again, inshallah. Thank you. Love you. I am with you in my heart also. Very good. Okay. Yeah.
What to do? There's nothing left to be or prove. To do but give it all to you. What can I do but give it all to you? By your grace, there's no one that I want to taste. Then liberation, 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 liberation. Mooji, I offer this life at your feet. May your love destroy me. May your love destroy me. I was blind. What grace to brought this one to find your holy form in this lifetime, to know and be the light you shine. We are with truth, and blessed are the living proof, and to that end I can't not give blessed life as I is lived. Mooji, I offer this life at your feet. May your love destroy me. May your love destroy me. Please take what's left with the full force of 1,000 deaths. For how long has this one longed to say, I love you more and more each day. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara. Guru, I love you. My Guru, I love you. Mooji, I offer this life at your feet. May your love destroy me. May your love destroy me. Mooji, I offer this life at your feet. May your love destroy me. May your love destroy me. Mooji, I offer this life at your feet. May your love destroy me. May your love destroy me.
Sister from Hannah. Hello, my love. Very much for everything. Thank you, babe.
That must be. Yes. You'll be here for a little bit. For that.
2 weeks. We'll just stay here to say thank you.
Yes. You can come here during this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to see you about something. You have a stick? You know this person? Thank you for my head. Yeah, thank you. You see it, huh? You see it. You see it. You see it. Thank you so much.
Ki Jai. We love you.
Love you. Finally, I got a little shake on I want to see. Thank you. Translators are in the Ramakrishna yacht. Can they see me from here? Thank you, translators. I wanted to mention, and somehow you're in my heart, you're in everyone's heart, because you are bringing so much of what is being shared to everyone around the world. So, love you, love you.